Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the 50 Stack Challenge 4, which is hosted by Amy at Crafty Cat. Each Monday she draws out 2 prompts from her little paper bag, and you're to make 2 pieces of ephemera using each of the prompts. And this is the 4th challenge that she has done, and I do know that she will be doing another one after this one is complete. And I believe she said on Monday's video that next week she would have more details about outlining the next one. So for this one, what she has done is she has put in prompts that could be used as journal themes. It's not necessary, to make a particular journal with these themes. And I think she has kept them general enough that you can make ephemera that you could use in other kinds of journals and still use the prompts. So kudos to her for that, because we're all different and make different kinds of journals. With that being said, I feel like I'm cheating this week, and that Amy and I had some kind of collusion going on, but we did not, I swear. She has no idea what I have been working on, and I had no idea what the prompts were going to be when she drew them out of her bag on Monday. But I am working on this journal, which I have already put together and started working on. And it's made out of a Reader's Digest cover, and it has 2 signatures in it. And you can see that the theme of the papers that I am using in this particular journal are quilt patterns. Well, the very first prompt she pulled out on Monday was quilt. The second prompt that she pulled out on Monday was denim, both of which I can use in this particular journal. So, like I said, it was pure happenstance that this happened, but I am very happy about it because I can actually make 2 pieces of ephemera to use in the journal that I'm working on currently. So, with that being said, I have pulled out some materials, and I'm going to make a couple of things for my journal and for those prompts. So the first one I'm going to do is the quilt prompt, and I had previously, if I stumble over my words, made a some quilt blank tags where I printed out the digital on some cardstock on both sides. These particular digital, this one and this one, is by Louisa Heinzel, and I believe that it's called grungy stitching or something to that effect. And I just, like I said, put it through my printer, let it print on cardstock, flipped it over, picked another page, and printed it on the other side. So for the quilt, I'm going to use this base and make a tag. And I have several little pieces here. This is a piece of old quilt batting, or quilt backing, I should say, that I am going to use in the hole up at the top. And I just sprayed it with some of my tea dye spray to make it a little grungier. And then I have this piece from Tim Holtz. It's from the new paper strips. And it looks like a measuring tape. I have this tag that I cut out of the other digital that I'm using, which is quilts. And I can't remember this one off the top of my head. I meant to look it up before I started the video, and I forgot. I will list it in the description box, but I think it's a 15-page digital that's all different quilts, and that's what I've used as some of the pages in my journal. I'm going to ink around this if I can find the right dauber. And I just ran this through my little punch that I have that makes tags with this little round corner, and it's just printed on cardstock, so I'm going to ink the back of it as well a little bit, but I want it still to be so you can write on it, so I'm not gonna go crazy there. And then I have this little picture of a grandmother that is also Louisa Heinzel, and I think this one is called Vintage Photo Strips or something to that effect. It's got some great photos in that kit, and you get a ton of them. So my grandmother was a quilter, so that's a little homage to her. And then this is a piece of Tim Holtz ephemera, and it's just, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's safety pins, like an old safety pin where you bought safety pins, and they came pinned in this little piece of cardboard. So I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to use this, and this is a photocopy of a old thread spool that I had, and I just laid it on my printer and did a copy of it. So it's an old Clark's thread. And then I actually have a piece of quilt, and it is a newer one. It's a machine sewn one. It's not hand sewn. And I just cut a piece off of it. It's a cutter quilt. I mean, it's not in good enough condition to use for anything else. And I'm going to grunge it up a little bit. And when I cut this little square to make my pocket to go down here, I pulled as much of the batting out of it as I could, so that it's, it's pretty flat. And I just went around the edges, like there's some more I can get out, and just pulled it out so that it'd lay a little bit flatter, but that you could still see the stitching, so it still looks like a quilt. And I'm going to glue that on there like a pocket, just like that. And then I have another piece of the quilt backing. And this is from a very old quilt. The fabric is really old. And then I have a rusty safety pin. And I'm going to pin this on here. If I can get it through. That's one thing. Once you rust them, they're not very sharp. I just want it to be on there. I can get it hooked now. There we go. So I'm just going to pin that on there like that, so it looks nice and grungy. And then I'm going to put my little Clark's thing right here and glue my pocket on. And then everything else will just slide down in the pocket. So I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. I don't know if I will go back and stitch this or not. But I think it's going to be fine either way. Probably will not. But I may change my mind down the road. So I'm just going to put glue down both sides and across the bottom. And glue that down on my tag. Now this is going to be a little bit of thicker tag, and I do always put thicker stuff in my journals, but I reserve the spots that I'm going to do that, knowing that I'm going to create some ephemera that's going to be thicker. Good spots for things like this are inside the front cover, inside the back cover, in between your signatures, because you have more space in those areas. And so things like this seem to work better and take up less room if you do that. And as always, you know, you can use thicker pieces in your journals as long as you allow for that ahead of time. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a big gator mouth journal, which I don't have a problem with that either, because I like them to be overstuffed, but a lot of people don't like that. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you're working with thicker materials. Alright, and then I have the string that I'm going to put in this tag. And that will slide down in there along with my pins and my quilting granny and my measuring tape. And then, like I said, I'm going to make my topper with this. So I'm going to put that through. Try to pull that. Alright, so let me ink around this. We have a cute little stuffed tag. That can go in our journal. And I'll show you what I mean before I moved on to the denim. So in this journal I have 2 signatures, like I said. So where my signatures come together, you you know, or any signatures, you always have this gap here. Well, that gap allows you to put something thicker, you know, here. And then when you shut it, you're not going to get any more bulk because you already have that gap. And actually, this one has 3 signatures. So I could put it, you know, in between. Or if I chose to, I could put it here inside the front cover because you also have a gap here and you have a gap here. And you can see I put this one we did the other day with the tags in it. I haven't decorated the tags yet. There. I did take out the big taller one because it was too tall for this particular journal, and so I will use it in something else. But those 2 are going to remain in there, and I will decorate the tags. But I like the idea of this one being in between 2 of the signatures. And it could be that I could put it, you know, on this little half sheet. But I would do it over here because I like these holes. So I could put it on this half sheet like this. And I think that would look really cute. And on the back side, you know, you'd still be able to see this stitching. And then I would do something here, which is probably what I will do. I like that idea. And it looks really good with that page. And would also, like I said, look good, you know, put on the quilted page with the half page being left. I'd move it probably over here more. And I could even make it a tuck right there. Or I could make it a flip out because the back side is decorated. So, there's that one. And I'm just going to leave it sitting right there for the moment. Alright, on to the denim. Alright, for the denim, I have a piece of homespun in this little navy and kind of a beigey color. And I have some denim. And I have this little advertisement that is for Fink's Detroit Special Overalls, where they wear like a pig's nose. And I'm going to make this I think I'm going to actually make this like a tag. I have this little snap that I thought I would put at the end for like a tab. So what I want to do first is I'm going to put this down on this piece of file folder to make it more sturdy. And I think I'm going to use this. This is like a book binder's glue. And the thing I like about this, even though it's very wet, a very wet glue, the thing I like about it is the fact that it remains flexible after it dries. So, sorry, I'm trying to get what size I want here. I want some of the homespun to show all the way around. So if you do use it on fabric or whatever, it doesn't become stiff like if you're using it for like a Mod Podge or something like that, where it becomes real stiff. I'm going to rip that down a little bit, make it a little more narrow, and then I think I want it about right here. And I got this Bookbinders glue off Amazon. Alright, so I'm going to kind of use this as a guide. Alright. And then I'm going to use my finger tool and just kind of spread that out. And put my fabric down. So I just jumped right in. I hope everybody's having a good crafting day. Sometimes I get excited about what I'm doing and I just jump right in. And forget my manners. Alright, so there's that layer, and then let's take this layer, put it down, and I think I can actually put this one on the back of the fabric. Since it is denim, a little bit thicker. And then I'm going to put the advertisement down. Oops. And yes, I'm going to have glue all over me. And all over the digital, obviously. Alright, where's my rag here? Okay, so we have everything glued down. It's all nice and flat. So now I'm hopefully going to take my tear ruler tear right along there. Okay, and then I can take my little snap here, and this snap is from a pair of baby overalls. So if you go to like a thrift store or whatever, look in the baby clothes and look for baby overalls, because there are several pieces that you can use on those. I have made belly bands using the buckles of the overalls because they're smaller and they make really cute belly bands. I do have a video on that, I think. And also you can use the snaps and the pockets because they are smaller. They're really cute. And of course, you know, the rest of it is just extra denim. So, yeah. And they're usually, like I said, a couple bucks. So, you get a lot of bang for your buck, as they say. Alright, and I'm going to put a little clip on that. Give it a minute to dry. And like I said, this is very wet glue, so it does take it a little bit longer to dry than, you know, if you're using art glitter glue or something like that, but it does remain flexible, so I do like that. And I've lost the lid. There it is. All right, and then I have this Tim Holtz photo that is this little boy in his overalls with his dog. And so wherever I decide that I'm going to put this, I am going to include this photo with it. And I also have, what did I do with it? Oh, I don't know what I do with it. I have a fussy cut somewhere. somewhere. I don't know what I've done with it, guys, but it is a little, 3 little boys, sitting on grain sacks, and, I'm going to put it in the same spread. Here they are, these little boys. And this is from a Farm Digital. Again, I can't remember whose it is. I will link it in the description box. But I think they are just the cutest. And this little boy, for sure, is in overalls. But yeah, really cute. Let me see if I can get it on this. Not the easiest fussy cut. But I think it looks pretty good. Probably need to take my little foam applicator, like makeup eyeshadow applicator, and go in those little bitty crevices. So for this one, it's thick, but it's not terribly thick. And I think I'm just going to leave this file folder on the back to write on. I may end up covering it with coffee dyed or tea dyed at some point. But let's go to like, alright, so here is in between the other 2 signatures. So for this, which is a tag, you know, you could hook that up here and then maybe put the little fussy cuts down on this end. Or over here with something. Like put them over here. And then put this little boy here with something underneath. And then something there. Just to give you an idea of how I would use it in our journal. So there you go. That's my 2 makes. Like I said, totally happenstance that it happened that way. But, you know, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, because I think that's just awesome. And I have 2 pieces of ephemera for my journal that I'm currently working on. So, where did my quilty piece go? I will show you both of them again. And then we will call this a video. And I will continue to work on my journal. So, this is my quilt piece. I hope you can see that. And this is my denim piece. So again, check out Amy's channel. She has a playlist for all of this challenge and all the previous ones. She doesn't have a time limit, so you could go back and do the first one if you wanted and start from scratch. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you hit the little bell, it'll tell you when I have new content available. And thanks again, everybody, for joining me. And everybody have a great evening. And I'll see you back tomorrow for I Saw It on Pinterest. Until then, see ya.